Las Vegas, a fever dream of neon and noise rising from the desert floor, shimmering like a mirage that never quite fades. It's a city built on myth, on the promise of a lucky roll of the dice, where fortunes can change in a heartbeat and legends are born every night. People come here to escape, to reinvent themselves, to chase a fortune that always seems just within reach. For some, it's a fresh start. For others, it's a last-ditch gamble. This city sells a fantasy, glamour and sin 24/7. The lights never dim and the music never stops. It's America's playground, a monument to excess where the party never ends, and every night feels like a celebration of possibility. But every myth has another side, a darker truth lurking just beyond the spotlight, in the shadows where the neon can't reach. For every winner, there are countless who lose it all. The house always has the edge, and the cost of chasing dreams can be devastating. Las Vegas is a magnet, pulling in the hopeful, the desperate, and the broken. People from every corner of the country arrive, drawn by the city's promise of reinvention. Many arrive with dreams, but for most, the promise of a second chance sours into a last resort. The city's embrace can be cold, and its opportunities fleeting. The desert is unforgiving, and so is the city it holds. The heat, the isolation, the relentless pace, Las Vegas tests everyone who comes here. The shimmering facade of the Strip is a powerful illusion designed to keep your eyes on the prize and away from the cost. Behind every jackpot, there's a price to pay. Look closer, past the fountains and velvet ropes, you see the cracks in the veneer. The city's beauty is only skin deep. The cooks, the cleaners, the dealers, real people making the machine run. Their stories are rarely told, but they are the backbone of this city of dreams, and the others, chewed up and spit out by the very system that promised them everything. For every high roller, there are dozens left behind. This isn't just a travel spot, it's a real city, with real gut-wrenching problems. Beyond the glitz, families struggle to get by, and entire neighborhoods are left behind. The biggest problem is hiding in plain sight. A human crisis unfolding in the shadow of unimaginable wealth. Homelessness, addiction, and poverty are as much a part of Las Vegas as the casinos themselves. This is the story of the other Las Vegas. The one you don't see on postcards, but the one that defines the city's true character. The Las Vegas you see on TV is a carefully curated fantasy, a dazzling spectacle designed to capture your imagination and never let go. Every light, every sign, every sound is orchestrated to create a world that feels larger than life. High rollers, celebrity chefs, penthouse suites, tourists glide through a bubble of luxury where every desire is catered to and every moment feels like a scene from a movie. The city is a playground for those seeking escape, indulgence, and the thrill of possibility. The city is a master of illusion, making you believe this is all there is. The Strip dazzles with its promise of fortune and fun, drawing millions into its orbit each year, but just a few blocks away, the illusion shatters. The neon glow fades, replaced by shadows and silence. In the shadow of billion-dollar resorts, another city exists. Makeshift tents, sleeping bags, people whose luck ran out. Here, dreams are replaced by daily struggles for survival. The world's most extravagant playground sits side by side with a sprawling city of the homeless. The contrast is stark, impossible to ignore for those who look beyond the lights. The two worlds are separated by mere feet, but they might as well be on different planets. The divide is physical, emotional, and economic, a chasm that grows wider every year. Tent cities stretch along drainage canals and vacant lots, a testament to thousands with no place to call home. Each tent tells a story of hardship, resilience, and hope for something better. The city's image is its currency, and homelessness is a threat to that brand. Officials work tirelessly to maintain the illusion, knowing that reputation is everything here. So the city tries to push it out of sight, but you can't hide a crisis of this scale. The problem persists, growing in the shadows, just beyond the reach of the spotlight. It spills out from the margins, a silent rebuke to the myth of endless prosperity. The reality is far more complicated than the fantasy sold to the world. This is the city's inconvenient truth, a story that doesn't fit the glossy brochures, but one that demands to be seen, heard, and understood. Deep beneath the city, a hidden world exists, a vast network of flood tunnels stretching for miles under the neon lights. These tunnels, built to protect Las Vegas from flash floods, have become an unlikely refuge, now home to hundreds of people who have nowhere else to go. Down here, away from the relentless sun and the constant flow of tourists, people have carved out a life in the shadows. The air is damp, the walls echo with distant city sounds, but for many, this is the only shelter they can find. Michael, once a skilled construction worker, now lives in the very tunnels he helped build above ground. He never imagined his life would take such a turn. "You're always just 1 or 2 bad days away from this," he says, his voice echoing off the concrete walls. The line between stability and homelessness is thinner than most realize. His camp is surprisingly neat: a mattress, a few cherished photos taped to the wall. It's not much, but it's home, in the harshest sense of the word. Here, small comforts mean everything. Maria, a former housekeeper, lost her job during the pandemic. She speaks of shame, of feeling invisible to the world above, and of the daily struggle to hold on to hope. "On the strip, they look right through you. You're not a person, you're a problem," she says, recalling how easily people avert their eyes, pretending not to see. She survives by collecting cans, scraping together enough for food, all while dreaming of a small apartment and the simple luxury of a hot shower, things most take for granted. These are not lazy people or monsters, they're human beings, each with a story, each failed by a system that promised more. Veterans, families, people who worked their whole lives now find themselves with nothing but memories and each other for support. Their stories share a common thread: a catastrophic loss, a medical bill, a lost job, that sent their lives spiraling out of control. They speak of constant fear, the daily struggle to stay clean, the endless search for safety, and the hope that tomorrow might be different. They are survivors, resilient in ways most of us could never imagine, finding strength in community and in small acts of kindness. Listening to them, you realize homelessness is not a character flaw. It's a circumstance, one that could happen to almost anyone. They are the unseen, living beneath the city of spectacle, their stories echoing in the darkness just below the glittering lights. In Las Vegas, the house always wins, and not just in the casinos. The main driver of homelessness is a severe lack of affordable housing. Rents have skyrocketed, pushed up by investors and a booming population. For service workers, the math doesn't work. Paychecks swallowed by rent, nothing left for food or emergencies. The job market is volatile. Most jobs are low wage with little security. A single lost job can spiral into homelessness, a trap that's hard to escape. Addiction and mental health crises play a role too. Las Vegas is a minefield for those predisposed. Support systems are inadequate, mental health care underfunded. Homelessness and addiction feed each other in a vicious cycle. Many come to Vegas as a last resort, hoping for a miracle, but find a system overwhelmed and under-resourced. The city's magnetic pull becomes a trap, leaving the vulnerable stranded in the desert. The city has tried to respond, some efforts well-intentioned, others deeply flawed. The Courtyard Homeless Resource Center offers a meal and a mat, but it's a temporary fix, not a home. In 2019, Las Vegas made it illegal to sleep on sidewalks in certain areas, pushing people further from help. The law doesn't solve homelessness, it just moves it around. The core failure, the scale of the response, doesn't match the scale of the problem. For every person housed, more lose their apartments. There's a critical shortage of permanent supportive housing, long-term solutions with mental health and addiction services. The city invests billions in stadiums and tourist attractions, but far less in social services and affordable housing. The system is designed for tourists and corporations, while the most vulnerable are left to fend for themselves. It's a gamble, and the evidence on the streets shows who's losing. For tourists, Las Vegas is a curated experience of pleasure and ease. The city is your oyster, comfort, entertainment, luxury at every turn. But for the homeless, every day is a battle for survival. The day begins with the desert sun or a street sweeper, not an alarm clock. Finding water is a life or death necessity. Food means waiting in line or searching through trash. The city becomes an obstacle course, benches designed to deter sleep, sprinklers set to drive people away. Security and police constantly move you along. There is no rest. The simple act of sleeping is a risk. Your belongings could be stolen, or worse. It's a life of perpetual crisis, with no privacy or peace. While one person loses money at a blackjack table, another is collecting cans for water. The contrast is staggering. Two worlds side by side, but worlds apart. The excess of one only highlights the lack of the other. As a tourist, you're the main character in your own Vegas movie. The city is your set, everything arranged to support your story. The illusion of plenty is carefully maintained. Most visitors stay within the tourist corridors, their gaze fixed on the lights, not the sidewalks. The crisis is easy to miss, a fleeting glimpse of a tent, a person with a sign. It's easier to believe the myth than confront the reality. The city's design encourages this willful ignorance. You see the Strip, not the struggling neighborhoods or underfunded services. Many leave with no idea of the scale of suffering just beyond the velvet ropes. This ignorance allows the problem to fester, keeping pressure for change low. The illusion of plenty is a barrier to empathy and to real solutions. What does it say about us when we allow such extreme disparities to exist? Las Vegas forces us to ask, do we value spectacle more than substance, tourists' comfort over residents' lives? The city's identity is torn between fantasy and a humanitarian crisis. There's a deep cynicism here, a belief in rugged individualism, in taking your chances. But that philosophy fails when people never had a fair chance to begin with. The community is divided. Some work tirelessly to help, others are frustrated and fatigued. The homeless crisis is the city's conscience, a reminder of its responsibility. A city isn't judged by its towers or casino revenue, but by how it treats its most vulnerable. Las Vegas can't escape the reality of the human cost. Its future depends on finding a new way forward, balancing ambition with decency. It's easy to feel despair at the scale of Las Vegas's crisis, but hope persists in volunteers and caseworkers who show up every day, offering meals, kindness, and connection. They are the city's true high rollers, betting on compassion. Hope lives in the resilience of those on the streets, surviving, forming communities, sharing what little they have. Their survival is an act of defiance against a system that left them behind. This isn't just a Las Vegas problem, it's an American one, magnified by neon lights. We can't afford to look away. We must demand more from leaders and ourselves. See the person, not the stereotype. Choose empathy over judgment. The future of Las Vegas depends not on another casino, but on our capacity for compassion. There's still a chance to build a city as kind as it is glamorous.